create wealth, and you can use that wealth because you have more choices. Some of my stable of mentees, middle manager to CEO of the 25th largest company in the world, Siemens, with 400,000 employees and 100 million in revenue. A mentee came to me flipping pizzas with pizza dough under his fingernails. He now makes motion pictures with Robert De Niro and Robert Duvall. The sitting governor of the state of Florida, Rick Scott. And I can go on and on and on. I want you to succeed. 99.99% of all the people that have made the billions, I've never met. 0.1% I have met. And those kids have come to the Castle Seminar, which I give 4 or 5 times a year. And then what they're really coming for, instead of doing it all free online, is I mentor the kids for a year for free. But not dissimilar to your at the farm. Accountable. 1 weekly report, 52 weeks, where they make themselves accountable for every hour of the day. They have to list what they did in detail, okay? Once a month we have a Zoom call where we get, your group is all on screen, where we talk about what you accomplished or didn't. And where I belittle you, make you cry online in front of your peers. We've had people in the seminar pass out. We've had people shit their pants. We've had people piss their pants. We've had people literally collapse in sobbing because we have 2 bank accounts in life. We've got a financial bank account, we've got an emotional bank account. And it's the emotional bank account where they always run dry. It's the emotional bank account that they give up on the farm because you're beating them physically, okay? It's the emotional bank account why you can't do more and you're more worried about what people are going to say. I've wasted all these 11 months or 11 years. Elon Musk had a very similar saying, I would rather seppuku, commit suicide, harry-carry, than fail. Financial motive must prevail. Okay? Now, I know that's not politically correct now, and a lot of people don't want to hear that. Hi. But what he was doing is he said financial motive must prevail so he could have more choices. As you well know, or you should know, he gave all his money away or died trying when he got at the end of his life cycle. We do it, and he did it the same way I did it, the same way Sloan did it at General Motors. It's by rolling up fragmented industries. In other words, seeing an industry in chaos and looking for low-hanging fruit and then acquiring through roll-up, through acquisition, bundling up, making good management decisions, employing good management techniques, and then selling on to an industry giant and or taking it public through a flotation. The AIM exchange in this country was brought to bear 20 years ago for that very reason, to have cottage industries an opportunity to be floated, to be sold off. And very simply, you buy mom and pops at 5, 6, 7, 8 times earnings. And for those of you that you don't have to be business students, it's after-tax earnings, and you float them at 15 or 20 times earnings. And you create a spread, you create an arbitrage of some 10 or 15, and you get fucking rich. I'm so used to success now, not blowing smoke up my own ass. I'm so used to it now. It's my fact pattern. I mean, nobody's interested in the failures I've had last year. I had tried 22 different things that failed, but I tried 2 that were big successes. So nobody's interested in I think we'll try this and it didn't work. I think I'll try this and it didn't work. But the castle is pretty phenomenal. It's a 15th century storybook place. You sit and you dress for dinner. Everybody's in suits the whole time. I'm the only guy that does that, apparently. We even give you a short course on how to use your fucking fork and knife. Most of you eat like pigs. We teach you manners, when to sit, to stand up when a lady comes in the room. We do all that old-fashioned shit. If you don't like it, fuck you. I don't care, okay? But it's interesting when you see some of these new companies going public, the young entrepreneurs, 18, 20, 25, they're all wearing suits when they go ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. With the greatest respect, they're not wearing t-shirts and shorts. I was bad. Now, I'm just an old man now, I'm 70, but I'm still pretty bad. And that kind of looks like Oxford. That's where I live now. So I've gone from the depths to, some people say, the heights. But the most important thing isn't that story, because we have countless stories like that. It's how I did it with no money. Now, I did some research about Oxford before, as I do whenever I talk. You've got 26 former prime ministers come out of this school. You've got 26 Nobel laureates come out of this school. Now, some of you have told me on the quiet, we wish we had more Nobel laureates and not so many prime ministers. That's a whole other story. Of course, I'm not going to speak to your current prime minister, who is a graduate of this school. It's a fine institution. When I was a young man, I had a chip on my shoulder because I didn't go to one of these schools. I had that chip on my shoulder till I was in my early 30s, until I fired one of you. And then I fired another one of you. Then another one of you. And another one of you. And now, rumor has it that I fired somebody, at least one, from all the great schools of the planet. And at my 70th birthday, as God is my witness, I fired a CFO from one of my companies who went to Cambridge at my 70th birthday. Now, I normally say his name, but I'm not going to say his name because this is going to be on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. But at my 70th birthday, as I drug him out the door, I fired, fortunately, not an Oxford man, but a Cambridge man. There's a pay price to action, okay? Now you're in the business of doing this, so you got to be the model, okay? You know, if you're doing this when you're 72, my age, I'll be around still. And I'll say, hey, Joe, what's happening, you know? And I understand that. But right now, it's easier for you because you don't call it work. Without even looking at your stuff, if you didn't do 75% of all your stuff, it doesn't matter. If you never did it, if you never turned to that page on your laptop, 75% of everything you do on a day-to-day basis in the cosmos of time isn't a fart in the wind. 75% of everything you do on a day-to-day basis, you don't need to do. 95% of everything you do has nothing to do with making any money. 95% of, no matter what business you're in. So when you say I try to focus on one or two things a day, try to focus on one thing from 9 till 10 in the morning. If it's not complete by 10, focus on it from 10 to 11. If it's not complete focus. For those of you that have more than one business, just turn the keys on them. Everybody, for staying, turn the key, close them. Close them down. Close them down. 98% of all the business ideas that come to me aren't worth a shit. And 75% of those 98 you've been fiddle-farting around with for years. That's your way of not having to face the fact that, one, it was a shit idea, and two, you got to come up with another idea, and three, you can procrastinate. It's like, again, I go back to a bad relationship. She wants to get rid of you, but oh God, I got 6 years invested in this asshole. Or he wants to get rid of her. The girls seem to be smiling more about this than the guys. I mean, the devil you know isn't as bad as the devil that you don't know. That's right. That's right. Keep shaking your head up and down. That's right. So you got just eliminate most of it. Go back and find, where did you make your money last month? If you're engaged in stuff that you didn't make any money in the last 6 months, close it down. For those of you that have internet businesses, this is my favorite. Sally and I, my lovely wife, have been in the internet business. We were one of the first in the late 90s. One of our companies was 3click.com. Affectionately, we call it 3click.fuck. And for a 70-year-old man, I probably know more about the internet than any other 70-year-old man on the planet. If you're not getting conversions, if you're not getting hits, if you're not or internet-based, forget about it. You finger farting around with it for the next 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 years is only going to produce sore finger from finger farting.